Hi everybody, this is Jen from Cookies, Cupcakes, and Cardio.com. Today I'm going to be showing you how to bake a mini pumpkin pie inside a Snickerdoodle cupcake. It's bound to surprise anybody who you want to make it for, so let's get started. To make the filling for the mini pies, we're going to need 3/4 of a cup of pure pumpkin, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, a pinch of cloves, 1 egg, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 3/4 of a cup of evaporated milk. Then to make the cupcakes, we're going to need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 eggs, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/2 cup of butter at room temperature, 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar, and 2/3 of a cup of regular milk. To finish off for the pies, we're going to need 2.5-inch round cutter, and then you're going to need prepared pastry dough. We have a video for that, or you can buy your own, and we'll put a link for our recipe in the show notes below, which goes to our apple pie video. And the last thing we're going to need is white buttercream. We're going to start with putting the pumpkin pie filling together. So I'm putting in my brown sugar and my spices and the cornstarch and salt. And I'm going to mix that up first, just slowly. And I'm going to next put in my pumpkin. And just get that in there. And mix that around. And my egg. And I'm going to let that mix before I put in my evaporated milk. And I'm going to give it one more scrape here. And I'm slowly going to add the evaporated milk. And I'm going to let that incorporate, and then I'm going to put it off to the side, and we're going to work on the pastry. So I'm going to roll out my dough here. It's going to roll it out gently until it's about 1/4 inch to 1/8 of an inch in thickness. And then I'm going to take my cutter, and I'm just going to take a round cut, a couple of them. And then I'm going to take my spatula here and just come underneath it. Now, I'm going to just gently place it into the mini cupcake pan, and I'm just folding it in at the sides before pushing down. So I just want it to fit in there, and then just gently pushing down on the top. So I'll do a couple more of those, and then I will be back to show you how to put in the filling. So now that we have the mini pies laid out here, we're going to use our prepared batter. And I'm just using a small scoop, and I'm just going to fill it pretty much right to the top. They're going to bake in the preheated oven at 375 degrees for between 10 to 12 minutes. While the mini pies are baking in the oven, you can start on the cupcake batter. So I'm going to put my flour into a larger bowl, and then I'm going to put in my cinnamon, salt, and baking powder. And just using a whisk, I'm going to mix it together and then set it aside. So now we're going to put the butter into the mixer, and I'm going to just mix it for a little bit. Now I'm going to add the sugar in and mix that up. I'm going to add 1 egg at a time. Let that incorporate. And the vanilla. So I'm going to let that combine, and then I'm going to get my dry ingredients to add back into the wet ingredients. So now I'm ready to add my dry ingredients. I'm going to put about half in and slowly mix that. and add about half of the milk. Let that mix. Then I'm just going to add the rest of my flour mixture. And the rest of my milk. So I'm going to finish letting this incorporate, and by now you should have your mini pies cooling, because we want them to be cool before we put our batter with them. So we're going to do that part next. So now that the mini pies are cool, I'm going to take 1 scoop of cake batter, and I'm just going to let it be in the middle there. And then I'm going to take a little mini pie and just press it into that batter. And then I'm going to put 2 more scoops on top. And the cake batter will fill up, and it will fill in any of the gaps that are here. If you're really worried, and I think I'm going to put a 3rd one in here. If you're really worried, you can just work it to the side like this. Just use another spoon or just your scoop like I'm doing right now. So that's how you fill these up. So I'm going to fill the rest of the pan up, pop them into the oven for 20 minutes at 350 degrees. So the cupcakes have baked up nicely with the mini pies inside, and they have cooled completely. So now they're ready for buttercream. So I have my white vanilla buttercream, and it's fitted with the Ateco tip 809. And I'm just going to squeeze it, letting it build up because I want it to be quite fluffy, and come up and just pull away. And then using some cinnamon sugar, which is literally exactly what it says, what it sounds like. It's cinnamon and sugar. I'm just going to sprinkle it on top like that for a little cute finish to these mini pies inside a cupcake. So I'm going to finish a bunch of them off, and then I'll be back to cut one open and show you the inside. So there you go, everybody, how to make a cupcake with a hidden pumpkin pie inside. I hope you enjoyed this recipe tutorial. Remember to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all of our newest videos. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.